The screen is dark. Footsteps echo. A woman breathes fast, the way people do when they're trying not to cry or panic. She felt them behind her before she heard them. 3 men, drunk, whispering things that made her skin crawl. And right when she reached for her phone, a massive biker stepped into her path, grabbed her by the arm, leaned close and whispered. What happened in those next minutes shattered a family secret that had been buried for years. Before we go any further, where in the world are you watching from tonight? Drop your city in the comments so I know where my people are tuning in from. Please like and subscribe. Now, let's begin. Maya was 23, exhausted from a double shift at the cafe, and all she wanted was to walk home, shower, and knock out. She lived in one of those neighborhoods where people say, it's safe, as long as you stay aware. She tried. She really did. But that night, everything felt wrong. Her street was too quiet. The wind had a cold bite to it. And when she heard a bottle crack behind her, she didn't turn around. She sped up. A man laughed, low mocking. Another one whistled. Maya's heart climbed into her throat. As her hands shook, she whispered the only thing she remembered from childhood prayers.
God, please.
That's when he appeared. A man built like a wall, wearing a worn Hell's Angel vest, boots heavy enough to break concrete, arms covered in ink. He looked like the exact kind of person her stepfather used to preach warnings about on Sunday mornings. But he didn't look at her like prey. He looked at her like she was someone he'd been searching for. He pulled her close, wrapping one arm around her waist as if they'd been dating for years, and whispered,
Don't freak out. I've got you.
He stared down the 3 men until they backed off, muttering curses as they disappeared into the dark. And just like that, the danger faded. But the story didn't. Not even close. The biker introduced himself as Luke, tall, quiet, with a roughness that came with history. Real history. The kind that doesn't wash off. Maya thanked him and tried to pull away. But he said something that stopped her cold. Tell your mom you're not walking alone anymore. Maya froze. How did he know anything about her mother? She hadn't said a word. She hadn't worn a name tag. Her apartment wasn't even nearby. Luke avoided her eyes. Maya, you were never supposed to walk home tonight. Those words replayed in her head for days. 2 nights later, Maya got her first message from an unknown number. You look just like him. She deleted it. Another one came. Your dad didn't die the way they told you. Her hands shook. Her stepfather always shut down any mention of her real dad. Her mother cried whenever she brought him up. And now strangers were contacting her about him? That same week, someone broke into her apartment. Nothing was stolen. Not cash. Not electronics. Just her father's old photo album, tossed on the floor, pages ripped, like someone was searching for one picture in particular. On her kitchen table, someone left a card. A simple white card, with one handwritten sentence. He should have kept his mouth shut. Maya couldn't breathe. She grabbed her keys, ran out the door, and drove straight to the only person who made her feel anything close to safe. Luke. Luke didn't act surprised when she showed him the card. Instead, he looked guilty. And then he told her the truth. He didn't meet her by accident. He had been watching over her for weeks. And the reason? Her father. Maya's father had once ridden with the Hell's Angels years before she was born. He wasn't a criminal, not in the way people assume. He played guitar at bars, helped transport girls out of bad situations, and quietly collected information on men who traded teenagers like property. And the night he tried to hand over evidence to law enforcement, he didn't make it home. The crash was staged. Luke was the last one to see him alive. Her father grabbed Luke's shirt, pulled him close, and whispered, Look after Maya. Please. Don't let the darkness touch her. Luke had carried that promise for a decade. And now that the same men were back in town, they were looking for her. When Maya told her mother collapsed in tears, not from shock, but from guilt. Her stepfather, the man who always preached about purity and protection, had known the truth the whole time. He didn't help the criminals. But he stayed quiet. He believed that silence would keep Maya safe. It didn't. Because silence never stops evil. It only feeds it. One night after her shift, Maya walked outside to find a black SUV idling near the dumpsters. The driver's eyes locked on her. He smirked. And before she could react, a second man stepped behind her and grabbed her arm. Maya screamed. But she didn't scream long. A motorcycle roared into the lot. Luke jumped off before the bike even stopped moving. The fight was fast, brutal, and desperate. Maya managed to use the self-defense move Luke taught her, elbow to the ribs, heel to the knee. She broke free long enough for Luke to get between her and the attacker. But the second man pulled a knife. Luke took the hit, right in the side. He hit the ground, blood soaking through his shirt. Maya's knees buckled, but she dropped beside him, pressed her hands against the wound, and prayed out loud, shaking, crying, whispering the same verse her dad used to whisper at night. "No weapon formed against you shall prosper." Sirens grew louder. The men ran. Maya stayed with Luke until help arrived. Police raided an abandoned warehouse on the edge of town. Inside, documents, burner phones, photos, names of girls listed like property. And in the back room, the picture someone tore from Maya's album. Her father, holding baby Maya, smiling. Underneath it, someone had scrawled, "Loose ends." Luke survived. Weeks later, Maya brought him and her mother to her father's grave. The autumn wind felt softer there, like the world had finally stopped spinning so fast. She laid down a copy of the case file, proof that her father died trying to save others. Then she laid her hand on the stone and whispered, "I'm safe now. I found the person you asked for." Luke stood beside her silently, head bowed, the promise he made years ago finally fulfilled. Her mother took her hand. No more lies. No more silence. Just truth and peace. If you were Maya in this situation, who would you trust more? The stranger who protected you? Or the family that kept secrets? Let me know down in the comments. I read every single one. And tell me where you're watching from. Stay safe out there. Until next time.